Hey guys, how are you? I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. We're going to talk about today how you pass your test. What do you need to do? I'm going to give you some relevant information. If you're a beginning driver, if your driver has a couple years, this will definitely help you. Let's go ahead and get it. Number one, you need to look for openings when you're driving. Driving is a game of closing and opening areas. You, as a beginning driver, have to really be aware of the elements of driving. If you're in a neighborhood, you can have cars coming down the street. You, as a beginning driver, have to understand that you, as a driver, really need to be prepared for the driving situations that you have at hand. Next, you need to yield and allow the right of way. If there's a school bus that is on the road and you're on the side with the school bus, you need to be able to yield if that stop arm is out. Yield to a stop. That is really important. Let's go on to the next. You need to understand the rules of the right of way. A lot of beginning drivers do not understand the rules of the right of way, and that leads to an accident, that leads to confusion. We do not want to have confusion when we drive. We want to be safe, and we want to understand the opportunities that present ourselves. If you're not sure, you can yield the right of way and give the other person the right of way. You can stop, make eye contact, eyes, EYES, and look at them and say, hey, you can come. I'm going to wait. I'm not sure what you're going to do. Next, let's talk about stops in the proper position. You want to stop behind the stop line. It's that really thick white line. When you come up to a stop, you need to remain motionless for a minimum of 3 to 5 seconds. And when you come to that complete stop, 1001, 1002, and 1003. That is extremely important that you understand about having proper stops. Next, let's talk about entering curves. A lot of people love to drive fast, but as a result, when you're on a curve, you're going to end up losing control, and that's not fun. So you need to go slow as you enter the curve so centrifugal force won't pull you to the then accelerate out of the curve. Let's continue talking about the information that will help us be successful, and that's extremely important. Next, maintains proper lane positioning. A lot of beginning drivers who are learning how to drive have a difficult time keeping proper lane position. What I need all of you to do is practice in your neighborhoods. Practice on your streets. If you hug the right, and we're talking about driving in North America, if you hug the right, you're going to end up getting debris, nails, and side swipe parked cars. You want to be in the middle right side of your lane so you can have control of your vehicle and then you can be successful. Let's continue. You want to signal 100 feet or a half a block. This does several things. This allows cars behind you to know, hey, I'm getting ready to turn onto a street. If you turn your blinker on too late, you're perhaps going to get rear-ended. You're going to slam the brakes, and you will be marked down as a major fault. Let's continue. Turn head and check blind spots. You have to be able to look over your shoulder. I have a blind spot to my right and a blind spot to my left. When you're driving, no matter how good of a mirror you have to look over your shoulder. If you don't look over your shoulder, you're going to assume. Don't assume, and you're going to end up cutting off a car, possibly getting hit, and that will be an at-fault accident. Please look over your shoulder. If you're making a lane change to the left, you look over your left shoulder. If you're making a lane change to the right, you look over your right shoulder. You have to do those. That's extremely important. Gradually moves into the lane. If you are jerking the wheel, turning it real hard, you're going to end up losing control. I don't want you to lose control. I want you to be able to maintain good control. Good control is work. Good control comes with experience. If you're not ready to drive on the roads, then what you need to do is practice having good lane positioning. You do this by driving in neighborhoods. You do this by driving on roads that do not have a lot of traffic. So you can learn to center yourself. And when you center yourself, you will end up keeping the car straight as possible. It's called aim high driving. You can also use the mirrors to help you stay centered. It takes work to learn how to be centered. If you're new to driving, less than 25 years old, you should be practicing with your guardian, with your caregiver. They should be taking time to get you out on the road so you can learn and you can make mistakes without fear of retaliation and getting screamed at. Because if we get screamed at as human beings, we're going to shut down. Okay, let's continue. Accelerates to proper speed. If you go over speed, you will be marked down. I want you become a erratic lane changer. This puts danger for you as the over speed driver, and this puts danger to the other drivers who are out there. The lights are timed, and if you go over speed, you may have to run a yellow red light or slam your brakes. Don't overspeed. It's a bad habit to have. And most of us speed because we are late. That is the number one reason why people speed. Don't overspeed. Let's continue. Maintains proper following distance. It's a car length for every 10 miles an hour. If you're going 40, you should have 4 car lengths. If you're going 50, there should be 5. That is a general rule. How do you find your following distance? You pick a stationary object. You pass a mailbox. You start counting. 1,000, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Keep a safe following distance. I say good speed, a smile, good speed, good smile, and be safe. You need to have those things. You need to have good speed, you need to be safe, and you need to have a smile, because when you're learning the right way, you'll smile because you feel good. Let's talk about proper signaling. You need to signal 100 feet or half a block. Signal too early, you confuse other drivers. Signal too late, you could possibly get rear-ended, and you will be marked down as a major fault, putting our car in danger. Let's continue talking about proper safety leaving a parking spot. From a park position, you need to push down the park brake. You need to signal your intention. You need to look over your shoulder and check your blind spot, just like what I did. Once clear, you signal your intention, and then you accelerate into the nearest lane. These basic maneuvers may seem really simple, but you have to continue to work at a high level to make sure that you learn these things. It's important because as a driver, you want to continue to improve and get better. It takes work every single day. Automatically put on your seatbelt. You'd be surprised how many drivers don't put on their seatbelt. That should be the number one thing once you get into the vehicle, and it's a major fault that could lead to failure. So let's talk about maintaining good speed at all times. If you're driving during rush hour, you might have to go 5 or 7 under the speed limit because the volume of cars. You want to be at an optimum speed that allows you to be safe. SAFE. If you're not at an optimum speed, you're going to end up going over speed or underspeed. Underspeed, you're going to hold up the flow of the traffic. You're going to have slow elements of road rage. You're going to find cars that are aggressively tailgating you, cutting you off. You're starting to understand where I'm going with this. You have to drive at the speed limit, and it takes time. I had a client who was driving at 50 in a 70, and there was a semi truck bearing down on us. You know what I was thinking. We got to get up to speed quickly. I do not want to get ran over. So told the client, you got to pick up the speed. We've got to feel comfortable and merge out safely. You have to maintain and be able to demonstrate proper mirror checks. You want to have the center mirror squared. You want to have it and glance and make sure that it's safe. AL. to allow people to make adjustments when you turn or when they turn. I hope this is helpful. If this was, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. I have more content coming, and watch. Bye.